Speaking of being committed to narratives, so committed to narratives that you say something stupid in hopes of forwarding that narrative at all cost, I present to you, let's see if I got, do I have any music for that? Yeah, I have a little, let me play this. This might be super loud. Let me turn it down, hang on. I'm going to try something. I don't have any official music, but I have to present to you the dumbest tweet of the year. All right. Yeah, okay. The dumbest tweet of the year. I'll get some real music for it. I'm just screwing around here. Listen, I'm not into public shaming, not for real, but this one, you earned this one. This is a series of tweets from Brienne of Snarth, formerly known at film_ESQ. I have to set it up. Last night we talked about the tragedy, the very real tragedy of the 2-year-old boy. His last name was Graves. His father's name is Matt. His mother's name is Melissa. I believe his name was Lane Graves. It came back to me. The 2-year-old boy, Lane Graves, who was drowned, attacked, bitten by an alligator, drug into the pond, the swamp, the lake, and drowned. They recovered the body. And the boy, thankfully, and again, it seems a little morbid, but the parents were thankful for this as well. The boy had not been eaten. His body was intact. He drowned. He did die, but he had not been eaten. There were just puncture wounds in his legs from where in his body where the alligator bit him and drug him under. So in the midst of this very real tragedy, you get this. I'm so finished with white men's entitlement lately that I'm really not sad about a 2-year-old being eaten by an alligator because his daddy ignored signs. The tweet continues. You really think that there are no effing consequences to anything? A goddamn sign told you to stay out of the water in Florida? F a sign. The tweets continue. I'm sad for that kid's other family members to have to pretend not to hate that dad and try to act like it wasn't his damn fault. I present to you the world's dumbest, most offensive, most asinine and ridiculous tweet, brought to you in part by people so committed to a narrative that they are willing to twist and morph anything and warp everything into being about the narrative that is their bread and butter. Every now and then you have to take a step back and say, I can view the entire world through the lens of white privilege, but everything that happens is not necessarily something that can be attributed to white privilege. I get it. White privilege carried you guys through the primary season. This narrative of white male privilege helped you beat back against the progressive movement of Bernie Sanders. I get it. Damn it, you get an applause because you guys were so effective at pushing back against Bernie Sanders with the white male privilege narrative. But damn it, at some point you have to be smart enough to slow your ass down and realize that a 2-year-old baby getting killed by an alligator is not an indication or an example of white male privilege. But if you had not been so committed to forwarding that narrative at any expense, you could have taken a step back and realized the human tragedy. You could have taken a step back and realized this is something that should not be politicized, even if I can politicize it. You should take a step back and realize that Matt and Melissa Graves now have to bury their 2-year-old son, and you're busy out here making a national scene with your modest following, with all of the people who amplify your voice because you want to forward the narrative of white male privilege and how atrocious it is and how difficult it is to exist in a world where white men have so much privilege. Oh, however will you survive? Yes, there's such thing as white privilege, But yes, there's also such thing as dumb privilege. And the dumb privilege that people get to be on Twitter and sound off about anything and everything sometimes costs you your ass. And you have done this to yourself, film as ESQ, because that was not only the dumbest tweet of the day, that was the most offensive tweet I have ever read in regard to a tragic situation that should not be mocked about, that should not be politicized, that everyone should just take a step back and say, damn, life is effed up sometimes. And now these parents have to bury their child. And while the parents have to bury their child, the rest of us have to sit back and endure and be harassed by your ignorance. You lose. You get nothing.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
We'll see you next time.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.
It's Ben Dixon!
If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.